The sleek, silver vessel glided through the star-strewn expanse, its human occupants barely able to contain their excitement. This was the Pioneer, the first human-made starship to venture beyond their solar system, carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire species. Aboard the Pioneer, Dr. Anya Petrova, a petite woman with fiery red hair and an even fierier intellect, adjusted the translation matrix on her datapad. As the ship's chief xenolinguist, it was her job to bridge the communication gap between humanity and the wider galaxy. "Nervous, Anya?" Captain Richard Marcus asked, his voice crackling over the ship's intercom. Anya chuckled softly. "Let's just say I'm eager to see if my years of studying alien languages will pay off." The Pioneer had been dispatched as part of a momentous occasion, humanity's induction into the Galactic Concord, an interstellar alliance of diverse species. The humans had much to offer: a resilient spirit, a knack for innovation, and a unique perspective on the universe. Yet, not all members of the Concord were thrilled about their inclusion. The Kril, a technologically advanced race with a reputation for arrogance, had been particularly vocal in their opposition. "Incoming transmission from the Concord capital," the communications officer announced. A holographic projection flickered to life on the bridge, revealing a serpentine Kril ambassador, its scales shimmering with an iridescent sheen. "Greeting, humans," it hissed, its voice a symphony of clicks and whistles that Anya's translator barely managed to decipher. "We trust your journey was uneventful." "It was, thank you," Captain Marcus replied diplomatically. "We're honored to be here." The Kril ambassador's slitted eyes narrowed. "Honored? Do not overestimate your significance. You are but a fledgling species, barely out of your cradle. The Concord has taken a considerable risk in admitting you." Anya bristled at the Kril's condescension but held her tongue. She knew this was just the beginning of a long and delicate dance of diplomacy. The Pioneer docked at the Concord capital, a sprawling space station that orbited a pulsating nebula. Anya and her team disembarked, marveling at the diversity of alien life that thronged the station's corridors. There were hulking, four-armed warriors from the Thalaxian hegemony, graceful, bioluminescent diplomats from the aquatic consortium, and countless other species, each with their own unique customs and languages. The humans were immediately marked as outsiders, their bipedal gait and lack of exotic features drawing curious stares. Anya, however, was more interested in the conversations swirling around her. She discreetly activated her universal translator, a device she had helped develop, which allowed her to eavesdrop on snippets of alien dialogue. "Can you believe they let those primitives join?" a Kril sneered. "They're barely out of their stone age," another Kril chimed in. Anya's jaw tightened, but she reminded herself that this was an opportunity to prove the naysayers wrong. Humanity had a lot to offer the galaxy, and she was determined to show it. The first official meeting with the Concord Council was a grand affair, held in a massive chamber with soaring ceilings and holographic displays that depicted scenes from across the galaxy. The human delegation, led by Ambassador Emily Singh, a seasoned diplomat with a steely gaze, took their seats among the representatives of the other member species. The Kril delegation, however, seemed to be putting on a show of their own. Their lead ambassador, a towering figure named Zark, addressed the council with a booming voice that echoed through the chamber. "Esteemed members of the Concord," Zark began, "today we welcome a new member into our esteemed alliance. The humans, despite their relative youth and inexperience, have shown a surprising aptitude for technological advancement." Anya exchanged a skeptical glance with her colleagues. The Kril's compliment felt more like a thinly veiled insult. "However," Zark continued, "we must remain vigilant. The humans are an unknown quantity, and their potential for disruption cannot be ignored. We must ensure that they adhere to the Concord's principles of peace and cooperation, lest they upset the delicate balance we have worked so hard to maintain." Ambassador Singh rose to her feet, her voice calm and measured. "We appreciate the Kril's concern for the Concord's stability," she said. "I assure you that humanity comes in peace, seeking collaboration and knowledge exchange. We believe that our unique perspective and ingenuity can be an asset to the alliance." Zark's lips curled into a sneer. "We shall see about that," he hissed. The meeting continued with a series of presentations and discussions, covering topics ranging from trade agreements to scientific initiatives. Anya listened intently, absorbing information and analyzing the nuances of the various alien languages. She noticed that the Kril representatives seemed to be dominating the conversation, their voices carrying a weight that the other species seemed hesitant to challenge. As the meeting drew to a close, Zark requested a private audience with the human delegation. Anya and her colleagues followed him to a smaller chamber, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Zark's demeanor shifted as soon as the doors closed behind them. "Let us be frank, humans," he said, his voice dripping with venom. "We do not trust you. Your species is impulsive, aggressive, and prone to conflict. You are a liability to the Concord." Ambassador Singh stood her ground. "With all due respect, Ambassador Zark, you are basing your judgment on outdated stereotypes. Humanity has evolved. We have learned from our mistakes and are committed to a peaceful future." Zark's eyes narrowed. "We shall see," he repeated, a sinister glint in his gaze. "The Concord is not a playground for reckless experimentation. If you step out of line, we will not hesitate to take action." With that, he turned and left the chamber, leaving the human delegation in stunned silence. Anya's heart sank. She knew that the Kril would be watching their every move, waiting for any excuse to discredit them. The meeting had been a stark reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Humanity had entered a galactic arena where they were the underdogs, surrounded by powerful and suspicious aliens. But Anya refused to be discouraged. She believed in humanity's potential, and she was determined to prove the Kril wrong. The days following the tense encounter with Zark were a whirlwind of diplomatic events and cultural exchanges. Anya found herself immersed in a kaleidoscope of alien customs and traditions, trying to navigate the complex social hierarchy of the Galactic Concord. Yet, amidst the festivities and formalities, a sense of unease lingered. The Kril's veiled threats and their constant scrutiny of the human delegation hung heavy in the air. Anya knew that they were walking a tightrope, and one wrong step could jeopardize humanity's standing in the Concord. Back on Earth, a team of scientists and engineers had been working tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the Echo. They had dubbed it the Echo Chamber due to its strange, resonating properties. The device was a marvel of alien engineering, far more advanced than anything humanity had ever encountered. Dr. Elizabeth Chen, a leading expert in xenoarchaeology, had been tasked with deciphering the Echo Chamber's intricate inscriptions. She spent countless hours poring over the strange symbols, cross-referencing them with other alien artifacts and linguistic databases. "It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing," she muttered to herself, her fingers tracing the grooves of a particularly perplexing inscription. Meanwhile, Dr. David Singh, a renowned physicist, was leading the effort to analyze the Echo Chamber's energy signature. He had constructed a series of elaborate experiments, bombarding the device with various frequencies and wavelengths, hoping to trigger a response. "There's something extraordinary about this energy," he exclaimed to his colleagues, his eyes glued to the readings on his monitor. "It's not just a weapon, it's a communication conduit, a way to transmit information across vast distances." Anya, who had been keeping in touch with the team back on Earth through secure channels, was intrigued by their findings. She had always suspected that the Echo Chamber was more than just a weapon, and Dr. Singh's theory seemed to confirm her intuition. One evening, as Anya was preparing for a formal dinner with a Phalaxian ambassador, a coded message flashed across her datapad. It was from Dr. Chen, and it contained a startling revelation. "Anya, I've made a breakthrough," Dr. Chen's voice said, a hint of excitement in her tone. "The Echo Chamber's inscriptions. They're not just a language. They're a map of the Galactic Communication Network." Anya's heart skipped a beat. This was huge. If they could tap into the Galactic Network, they could learn so much about the Concord, the Kril, and the other alien species. But more importantly, they could use it to broadcast their own message, a message of peace and cooperation. The implications were staggering, and Anya knew that they had to proceed with caution. The Kril had obviously been using the echo chamber for their own nefarious purposes, and if they discovered that the humans were onto them, they would surely retaliate. But Anya was not one to back down from a challenge. She was a linguist, a communicator, and she believed in the power of words to change the world. This was their chance to prove the Kril wrong, to show the galaxy that humanity was not a threat, but a valuable asset. With a newfound determination, Anya set out to contact the team back on Earth. They had a plan to make, a plan that could change the course of galactic history. Anya found a secluded alcove within the embassy, shielded from prying eyes and ears. She initiated a secure quantum communication channel with Earth, her heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. A holographic projection of Dr. Chen materialized before her, her face etched with both exhaustion and triumph. "Anya, you won't believe what we've uncovered," she said, her voice hushed. "Tell me everything," Anya urged. Dr. Chen explained their findings, how the echo chamber was not merely a weapon, but a receiver and transmitter for a vast network of interstellar communication. The Kril had been using it to broadcast propaganda, manipulating information and spreading fear to maintain their grip on power. "We believe they've been using it to suppress dissent and maintain their dominance," Dr. Chen continued. "They've created an echo chamber of their own lies." Anya's mind raced, piecing together the puzzle. The Kril's arrogance, their veiled threats, their constant surveillance, it all made sense now. They were afraid of the truth, afraid of losing their control. "But there's more," Dr. Chen said. "We think we can modify the echo chamber, turn it into a beacon of truth. We can use it to broadcast our own messages, to expose the Kril's lies and unite the galaxy against them." Anya's breath caught in her throat. It was a daring plan, a risky gamble, but it also held the promise of a brighter future for humanity and the entire Galactic Concord. "Elizabeth, this is brilliant," Anya said, her voice filled with admiration. "But we need to be careful. The Kril are not going to take this lying down." "We know," Dr. Chen replied. "We're already taking precautions. We've compartmentalized the project, working in secret cells with limited access. But we need your help, Anya. We need you to gather intelligence, to find allies within the Concord who are willing to stand with us." Anya nodded, a fire igniting in her eyes. "Consider it done," she said. "I'll start making contacts, discreetly. We need to build a network of trust, a coalition of the willing. We need to turn this echo chamber of lies into a symphony of resistance." The conversation ended, and Anya was left alone with her thoughts. The task ahead was daunting, but she was not afraid. She had always been a champion of truth and understanding, and now she had a chance to use her skills on a galactic scale. With renewed determination, Anya stepped out of the alcove, ready to embark on a mission that could change the fate of humanity and the entire galaxy. She was no longer just a xenolinguist. She was a soldier in a war of information, a warrior of words, and she would not rest until the truth echoed throughout the stars. Anya moved through the diplomatic circles of the Concord capital with a newfound purpose. On the surface, she maintained the facade of a curious and eager newcomer, attending galas, participating in cultural exchanges, and engaging in seemingly innocuous conversations with delegates from various species. But beneath the pleasantries and diplomatic smiles, she was on a covert mission. Her first target was Ambassador Telak, a representative of the amphibious Sil. The Sil were known for their wisdom and neutrality, often acting as mediators in galactic disputes. Anya had observed Telak's subtle discomfort during the Kril's grandstanding, and she sensed a potential ally. During a seemingly casual conversation at a reception, Anya steered the topic towards the Kril's use of the echo chamber. "It's a remarkable piece of technology," she remarked, feigning ignorance. "I wonder how they acquired such advanced knowledge." Telak's eyes flickered with a hint of unease. "The Kril are protective of their secrets," he replied evasively. Anya pressed on, her voice carefully modulated to convey curiosity rather than accusation. Have you ever felt that their information control is a bit excessive? Telak hesitated, then leaned in closer, his voice barely a whisper. There are rumors, he said, whispers among the Concord's less powerful members, that the Kril are not as benevolent as they seem, that they manipulate information to maintain their dominance. Anya nodded, careful not to reveal her knowledge of the echo chamber. Rumors can be dangerous, she said, but sometimes they contain a kernel of truth. Telak met her gaze, a spark of understanding passing between them. Indeed, he said, perhaps we should be more vigilant, more willing to question the official narrative. Their conversation ended, but Anya felt a sense of accomplishment. She had planted a seed of doubt, a spark of curiosity that could potentially ignite into a flame of resistance. In the following weeks, Anya repeated this process with other delegates, subtly probing for information, gauging their sentiments towards the Kril, and searching for those who shared her concerns. She discovered a surprising amount of discontent simmering beneath the surface, a quiet resentment towards the Kril's arrogance and their tight control over the flow of information. Anya's network of allies grew slowly but steadily, a web of whispered conversations, coded messages, and clandestine meetings. She found kindred spirits in unexpected places, a Thalaxian historian who questioned the Kril's version of galactic history, a young Glamarian scientist who had been silenced for challenging the Kril's scientific dogma, and even a disillusioned Kril diplomat who had grown weary of his own race's deception. Each new connection strengthened Anya's resolve. She knew that they were embarking on a dangerous path, but the stakes were too high to ignore. The Kril's echo chamber was a weapon of mass manipulation, a tool of oppression, and it had to be stopped. With every secret meeting, every coded message, Anya felt the tide turning. The symphony of resistance was growing louder, its harmonious notes resonating across the galaxy, ready to challenge the discordant echoes of the Kril's lies. On Earth, the covert operation to repurpose the echo chamber was in full swing. Dr. Chen and Dr. Singh led a team of brilliant minds, working day and night in a hidden underground facility. The atmosphere was electric, a mix of nervous excitement and unwavering determination. They had named their project Harmony, a symbolic gesture of their intent to counter the Kril's discordant manipulation. The engineers had disassembled the echo chamber, analyzing every circuit, every crystal, every alien symbol etched onto its surface. This is truly a masterpiece of engineering, Dr. Singh marveled, his fingers tracing the intricate patterns on a glowing energy conduit. The Kril are far more advanced than we ever imagined. That's why we need to be smarter, Dr. Chen added, her eyes fixed on a holographic projection of the Galactic Communication Network. We need to find a way to use their own weapon against them. The team had divided into specialized units, each tackling a different aspect of the echo chamber's modification. The linguists, led by Dr. Linji, a young prodigy who had been handpicked by Anya, were working on deciphering the complex algorithms that governed the device's communication protocols. We're making progress, Dr. Lin reported during a team meeting, her voice filled with excitement. We've identified key linguistic patterns that we can manipulate. We can alter the echo chamber's message, turn it from a tool of propaganda into a beacon of truth. The engineers, led by the grizzled veteran, Dr. Patel, were focusing on reconfiguring the echo chamber's energy matrix. They had discovered a hidden fail-safe mechanism that the Kril had installed to prevent unauthorized access, but they were confident they could bypass it. We're essentially rewiring this thing from the inside out, Dr. Patel explained, his hands covered in grease and wires. We're turning it from a megaphone into a symphony. The most daunting task, however, fell to the computer scientists, led by the enigmatic hacker known as Shadow. They were tasked with creating a program that could infiltrate the Galactic Communication Network, undetected, and deliver their message to every corner of the galaxy. It's like hacking into the galactic mainframe, Shadow said, his voice distorted by a voice modulator. But the stakes are a hell of a lot higher. The team worked tirelessly, fueled by a shared sense of purpose and the knowledge that their work could change the course of history. They knew the risks, the potential for failure, the threat of Kril retaliation. But they also knew that they couldn't stand idly by while the Kril continued to spread their poison throughout the galaxy. As the days turned into nights, the Harmony Project progressed steadily. The echo chamber was slowly transforming, its purpose shifting from a weapon of fear to a tool of liberation. Back on the Concord capital, Anya continued her delicate dance of diplomacy, gathering information and building alliances. The tension was palpable, the air thick with suspicion and unspoken truths. But Anya remained undeterred, her faith in humanity's potential unwavering. She knew that the symphony of resistance was building, its crescendo approaching. Soon, the echo chamber would sing a new song, a song of hope, a song of unity, a song that would echo throughout the stars. As the Harmony Project neared completion, a palpable tension settled over the hidden Earth facility. The weight of their mission pressed upon every team member, each keystroke and soldered connection echoing with the potential consequences of their actions. Dr. Chendi, her eyes rimmed with exhaustion, oversaw the final integration of Dr. Lin's linguistic modifications. The air thrummed with the low hum of the echo chamber, now adorned with a network of new conduits and a shimmering, crystalline core. "This is it, Doctor," Lin whispered, her fingers hovering over the activation sequence. The moment of truth. With a shared breath, they initiated the sequence. The echo chamber's core pulsed with a vibrant light, its hum transforming into a melodic chime. Data streams cascaded across the monitoring screens, confirming the successful integration of the linguistic matrix. Dr. Singh, a wide grin splitting his face, slapped Dr. Patel on the back. "We did it," he exclaimed, his voice booming through the control room. "We turned their damn weapon into a symphony." The team erupted in cheers, their pent-up anxiety giving way to jubilant relief. But the celebration was short-lived. Shadow, the ever-pragmatic hacker, reminded them of the task that still lay ahead. "We've got the instrument," he said, his voice distorted by the modulator, "but we still need to compose the symphony." The team turned their attention to the daunting task of crafting the message that would be broadcast across the galaxy. It had to be truthful, compelling, and above all, unifying. It had to resonate with the hearts and minds of every sentient being who heard it. Anya, through encrypted channels, provided valuable insights into the cultural sensitivities and linguistic nuances of the various alien species. Her understanding of the galactic zeitgeist proved invaluable in shaping the message. Days turned into sleepless nights as the team poured their hearts and souls into their work. They crafted a message that exposed the Kril's lies, detailed their manipulations, and called for a new era of transparency and cooperation. They spoke of the shared struggles and aspirations of all sentient beings, the need for unity in the face of galactic challenges. Meanwhile, on the Concord capital, the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. The Kril had grown suspicious of the humans' activities, their surveillance efforts intensifying. Anya and her allies had to tread carefully, maintaining their cover, while discreetly spreading the word of the impending broadcast. The day of the broadcast arrived, a day that would forever alter the course of galactic history. The Harmony team gathered in the control room, their faces a mix of nervousness and resolve. Dr. Chen, her hand trembling slightly, reached for the activation switch. "This is for humanity," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the thrum of the echo chamber. "This is for the galaxy." She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and flipped the switch. A wave of energy surged through the echo chamber, its crystalline core glowing with an intensity that filled the underground facility with an ethereal light. The melodic chime intensified, evolving into a complex symphony of frequencies that resonated with the very fabric of space-time. On the Concord capital, the Kril's communication arrays detected the anomaly, their sensors overloaded with an unfamiliar energy signature. Zark, the Kril ambassador, was alerted immediately. "What is the meaning of this?" he hissed, his scales rippling with agitation. "Identify the source." His technicians scrambled to analyze the signal, but it defied their understanding. It was unlike anything they had ever encountered. A symphony of alien harmonies that seemed to bypass their security protocols and penetrate the very core of their communication network. Suddenly, every screen, every holo display, every communication device across the Concord capital erupted with the Harmony team's message. The faces of Dr. Chin, Dr. Singh, and Anya Petrova appeared before the startled eyes of the galaxy, their words echoing in a multitude of languages. "Citizens of the Galactic Concord," Dr. Chin began, her voice firm and resolute, "we come to you today with a message of truth." She recounted the Kril's deception, their manipulation of the echo chamber, their suppression of information and dissent. She laid bare their warmongering agenda, their exploitation of weaker species, and their relentless pursuit of power. Dr. Singh then spoke, his voice filled with passion and conviction. "The Kril have been using the echo chamber to create a false reality, a world of fear and division. But we have found a way to break their spell, to expose their lies, and to reclaim our collective destiny." Anya Petrova followed, her words translated seamlessly into the countless languages of the Concord. "We are all connected," she declared, her voice ringing with empathy and hope. "We share the same hopes, the same fears, the same dreams for a better future. Let us unite, not as separate species, but as one galactic community, bound by truth, justice, and compassion." The message ended with a call to action, urging all species to reject the Kril's propaganda and to demand transparency and accountability. The transmission repeated on a loop, its echoes reverberating across the stars. The initial shock and disbelief quickly gave way to a wave of anger and outrage. The Kril's carefully constructed facade of benevolence crumbled, revealing the ugly truth beneath. The oppressed species, emboldened by humanity's courage, began to stir, their voices rising in a chorus of dissent. Zark and his fellow Kril watched in horror as their empire of lies began to unravel. They tried to jam the signal, to discredit the message, but it was too late. The seed of doubt had been planted, and it was already taking root. In the far reaches of the galaxy, a symphony of resistance was rising, a symphony that would soon drown out the discordant echoes of the Kril's lies and usher in a new era of hope and unity. Across the Galactic Concord, the message reverberated through the corridors of power, the bustling marketplaces, and the quiet contemplation chambers of countless species. The Kril's carefully constructed narrative of benevolent leadership was shattered, replaced by the stark truth of their insidious machinations. On the aquatic planet of Oceana Prime, Ambassador Telak watched the holographic transmission with a mixture of awe and vindication. The Sil, known for their deep-rooted wisdom and reverence for truth, had long harbored suspicions about the Kril's motives. Now, their fears were confirmed, and a righteous anger stirred within the normally placid species. In the industrial heart of the Thalaxian hegemony, General Kril watched the human broadcast with a grim expression. The Thalax, a proud warrior race, had chafed under the Kril's restrictions on military expansion. The revelations of the Kril's warmongering agenda ignited a spark of rebellion in his heart. Even among the Kril themselves, there was unrest. A small but growing faction of dissidents, led by the disillusioned diplomat Anya had contacted, began to question their leader's motives. They had been fed a diet of propaganda, and the sudden exposure to the truth left them reeling. The Kril High Command scrambled to contain the fallout. They issued denials, accused the humans of sabotage, and attempted to censor the message. But their efforts were in vain. The symphony of resistance had reached a fever pitch, and the Kril's grip on power was slipping. On a desolate moon on the outskirts of Kril space, a secret meeting took place. Representatives from various species, including humans, Sil, Thalax, and even a few rogue Kril, gathered in a hidden bunker. Anya, her face illuminated by the dim glow of holographic displays, addressed the assembly. "We have struck a blow against the Kril's tyranny," she said, her voice filled with determination. "But the fight is far from over. They will not relinquish their power easily. We must remain united, vigilant, and resolute." General Kril, his forearms crossed over his massive chest, spoke next. The Thalaxian fleet stands ready to defend the innocent and to strike back against the Kril's aggression. Ambassador Telak added his voice. The Sil will use our diplomatic channels to rally support from neutral factions and to expose the Kril's lies to the wider galaxy. The rogue Kril diplomat, his scales a dull gray in the dim light, spoke with a trembling voice. I have seen the error of my race's ways, he confessed. We have become corrupt, blinded by our own arrogance. I pledge my loyalty to the cause of truth and justice. Anya looked around the room, her heart swelling with hope. She saw the fire of rebellion in their eyes, the determination to break free from the Kril's oppressive rule. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but she also knew that they were not alone. The symphony of resistance was growing stronger, its melody spreading throughout the galaxy, awakening the hearts and minds of those who yearned for freedom. The Kril's reign of terror was coming to an end, and a new dawn was breaking on the horizon, a dawn of hope, unity, and a brighter future for all. The Kril's response was swift and brutal. They deployed their formidable fleet, blockading star systems and cracking down on suspected dissidents. Yet the tide had turned. The symphony of resistance, once a mere whisper, had swelled into a defiant roar. News of the broadcast spread like wildfire, igniting a chain reaction of uprisings across the galaxy. On the swampy planet of Xylox, the native Zil, a race of insectoid artisans renowned for their intricate metalwork, staged a daring raid on a Kril munitions depot, seizing weapons and supplies to arm their fellow rebels. In the asteroid belt that ringed the gas giant of Galatia, a band of Glamarian scientists, known for their mastery of energy manipulation, disrupted the Kril's hyperspace relays, plunging entire sectors into communication blackout and sowing chaos in their ranks. Even on the Kril homeworld, dissent festered. The rogue diplomat, now operating under the alias Silas, rallied his fellow dissidents, spreading the message of truth and inciting acts of sabotage against the ruling regime. The Kril High Command, led by the ruthless Supreme Commander Kohler, found themselves facing a multi-pronged rebellion. Their once unquestioned authority was crumbling, replaced by fear and paranoia. Kohler, a towering figure with razor-sharp claws and eyes that burned with an icy rage, convened an emergency meeting of the High Council. We are facing an unprecedented crisis, he snarled, his voice echoing through the council chamber. The humans and their sympathizers have unleashed a weapon far more dangerous than any physical force, the truth. The council members, once a picture of unwavering confidence, now fidgeted nervously in their seats. They had grown complacent, believing their propaganda machine was infallible. Now, they were reaping the consequences of their arrogance. We must silence this dissent, Kohler declared, his voice dripping with venom. We must crush this rebellion before it consumes us. But the council was divided. Some advocated for a full-scale military assault, while others argued for a more diplomatic approach, fearing that further violence would only fuel the rebellion. In the midst of the chaos, a lone voice spoke up. It was Silas, the rogue diplomat, his face pale but resolute. We have been deceived, he said, his voice trembling slightly. The humans have shown us the truth, the ugly truth of our own corruption. We must admit our mistakes and seek reconciliation. His words were met with a stunned silence, followed by a chorus of angry retorts. He was branded a traitor, a heretic, and stripped of his rank. But his words had planted a seed of doubt in the minds of some council members. The Kril's once united front was fracturing, their internal divisions mirroring the growing chaos in the galaxy. The symphony of resistance had struck a chord deep within the heart of their empire, and its reverberations threatened to tear it apart. Anya found herself on the front lines of the burgeoning galactic revolution, though not in the way she had initially envisioned. While her colleagues on Earth orchestrated the technological symphony, her role became one of diplomacy and subterfuge. Under the guise of cultural exchange, she traversed the Concord capital, meeting in secret with representatives of sympathetic species. Her small apartment within the human embassy transformed into a clandestine war room, with maps of the galactic network, encrypted communications, and a growing list of allies. Her most crucial meeting took place within the labyrinthine depths of the Aquatic Consortium's embassy. A dimly lit chamber, filled with the gentle gurgle of filtered water, hosted a gathering unlike any other. Anya stood beside Telak, the Sil ambassador, their forms an odd pairing amidst the bioluminescent Sil diplomats. "Our people are ready," Telak spoke, his voice resonating with a newfound resolve. "We will leverage our neutrality to expose the Kril's atrocities." A Thalaxian general, adorned with the scars of countless battles, nodded in agreement. "Our fleets are mobilizing. We will not allow the Kril to continue their reign of terror." Anya surveyed the room, a surge of pride and humility washing over her. She, a linguist from Earth, had become the catalyst for this unprecedented alliance. But she knew that the true strength lay in their unity, the symphony of their collective voices rising above the Kril's discord. The meeting concluded with a pact. Each species would use their unique strengths to undermine the Kril's power. The Sil would leverage their diplomatic influence, the Thalax would provide military support, and the Glimmerians would continue to disrupt the Kril's communications. Anya's role was to maintain communication between the factions, ensuring a coordinated effort. As she left the Aquatic Consortium embassy, a sense of foreboding washed over her. The Kril were not known for their mercy, and she knew that her actions had placed her in grave danger. Yet, the fear was outweighed by a sense of purpose. She was fighting for something bigger than herself, something worth risking everything for. The Concord capital, once a beacon of unity, now simmered with tension. Patrols doubled, surveillance intensified, and the Kril's paranoia reached a fever pitch. Anya knew that time was running out. One evening, as she was decrypting a message from Earth, a sudden alert blared through the embassy. Kril warships had entered the system, their weapons primed and ready. The humans were given an ultimatum: surrender the echo chamber or face annihilation. Anya's heart pounded in her chest, but her resolve did not waver. She had anticipated this moment, and she knew what had to be done. She activated a hidden communication device, its signal bypassing the Kril's jamming technology. "It's time," she whispered, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 suns. "Unleash the symphony." The message reached Earth, and the Harmony team, their fingers poised over the controls, braced themselves for the final act of their audacious plan. On Earth, the Harmony team received Anya's message with a mix of dread and exhilaration. The moment they had been preparing for, the culmination of countless hours of work and sacrifice, had arrived. Dr. Jens, her face etched with determination, nodded to Dr. Singh. "Activate the final sequence," she commanded, her voice unwavering. Dr. Singh's fingers danced across the control panel, initiating a complex series of commands. The echo chamber hummed with renewed intensity, its crystalline core pulsating with a blinding light. A wave of energy surged through the facility, coursing through the hidden conduits and resonating with the very fabric of space-time. In the vast expanse of space, the Kril warships surrounding Earth detected the anomaly. Their sensors blared warnings, their crews scrambling to identify the source of the unfamiliar energy signature. But it was too late. The modified echo chamber unleashed its symphony, a torrent of data and information that bypassed the Kril's firewalls and security protocols. It was not a weapon of destruction, but a weapon of truth, a beacon of hope that pierced the veil of lies the Kril had woven. The transmission, amplified by the Kril's own communication network, reached every corner of the galaxy. It was a symphony of voices, a chorus of unity, a testament to the resilience of the oppressed. The Kril's lies were laid bare for all to see. Their manipulations, their warmongering, their atrocities were exposed in graphic detail. The galactic community watched in horror as the true face of the Kril was revealed, their masks of benevolence ripped away. The Kril commanders aboard the warships orbiting Earth were stunned. Their own communication channels were flooded with the damning evidence of their crimes, their screens displaying the faces of their victims, their ears filled with the cries of those they had oppressed. The Kril fleet, once a symbol of power and intimidation, now found itself paralyzed by doubt and confusion. the crews, their loyalty shaken, questioned their orders, their purpose, their very identity. Aboard the flagship, Supreme Commander Kohler watched in disbelief as his empire crumbled before his eyes. The humans, the species he had underestimated and dismissed, had outmaneuvered him, using his own weapon against him. He roared in frustration, his claws raking across the command console. But his rage was futile. The tide had turned, and the Kril were drowning in a sea of their own lies. The symphony of resistance, once a mere whisper, had swelled into a triumphant crescendo, echoing across the stars and heralding a new era of freedom and unity. The Kril fleet, once a monolithic symbol of power, now resembled a wounded beast, lashing out in confusion and desperation. Their attempts to regain control of the narrative proved futile. The symphony of resistance had reached a crescendo, drowning out their deceitful whispers. On Earth, the Harmony team watched as the galactic community rallied against the Kril. News feeds streamed images of protests erupting on countless planets, with diverse species standing shoulder to shoulder, their voices raised in unison against the oppressors. In the heart of the Kril Empire, chaos reigned. The dissidents, led by Silas, had seized control of key communication hubs, broadcasting their message of truth and reconciliation to the Kril populace. Kohler, the once mighty Supreme Commander, found himself increasingly isolated, his authority challenged from within and without. The Galactic Concord, now galvanized by a shared purpose, moved swiftly to isolate the Kril. Trade routes were rerouted, alliances solidified, and a coalition fleet, comprised of ships from various member species, assembled to enforce a blockade around Kril space. On Earth, Anya Petrova received a coded message from an unexpected source, a high-ranking Kril officer who had been swayed by the Harmony broadcast. The officer, known only by the codename Echo, revealed a critical weakness in the Kril's defense systems, a vulnerability that could be exploited to end the conflict swiftly. Anya relayed this information to the Concord Council, who, after much deliberation, decided to take a bold gamble. They launched a daring mission, codenamed Operation Symphony, aimed at disabling the Kril's central command structure and forcing a peaceful surrender. A small fleet of stealth ships, crewed by the most skilled pilots and technicians from across the galaxy, slipped through the Kril blockade under cover of darkness. Their target, the Kril's primary communication hub, a massive orbiting station that served as the nerve center of their empire. The mission was fraught with danger, but the stakes were too high to ignore. The Kril's continued resistance threatened to plunge the galaxy into a devastating war. The fate of countless lives rested on the success of Operation Symphony. The stealth ships, their cloaking devices activated, approached the Kril station undetected. A team of elite Thalaxian commandos, led by General Kale himself, prepared to infiltrate the station and disable its core systems. As the commandos breached the station's defenses, they encountered fierce resistance from the remaining loyal Kril forces. A bloody battle ensued, the metallic clang of weapons echoing through the station's corridors. Meanwhile, the human technicians, guided by Dr. Singh's expertise, worked feverishly to override the station's security protocols. Their fingers flew across their consoles, their minds racing to outsmart the Kril's advanced technology. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance as the symphony of resistance reached its climax. The Kril's empire teetered on the brink of collapse, and the future of the Galactic Concord rested on the outcome of this daring mission. The fall of the Kril's central communication hub sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. The sudden silence from the once dominant force was deafening, leaving a void that was quickly filled by the rising symphony of resistance. News of the daring raid on the Kril station spread like wildfire, further emboldening the rebels and demoralizing the remaining Kril loyalists. On countless worlds, oppressed populations rose up, casting off the shackles of Kril rule. The Thalaxian fleet, under General Kale's command, launched a series of lightning strikes against Kril outposts, liberating entire star systems and cutting off vital supply lines. The Sil, utilizing their diplomatic prowess, brokered alliances with neutral factions, turning the tide of galactic opinion against the Kril. The Glamarians, their mastery of energy manipulation proving invaluable, sabotaged Kril power grids and disrupted their communication channels, sowing chaos and confusion in their ranks. Even within the Kril homeworld, the rebellion gained momentum. Silas, the rogue diplomat, became a symbol of hope for the disillusioned masses. He led protests, organized underground cells, and broadcast messages of defiance, his voice a beacon in the darkness. The Kril High Command, now fractured and desperate, resorted to increasingly brutal tactics to quell the uprising. They deployed devastating weapons, indiscriminately bombarding rebellious planets and sacrificing countless lives in a futile attempt to maintain their grip on power. But their brutality only served to strengthen the resolve of the rebels. The galaxy had awakened to the Kril's true nature, and there was no turning back. On Earth, the Harmony team watched the unfolding events with a mixture of pride and sorrow. They had played their part in igniting the revolution, but the cost had been high. Countless lives had been lost in the struggle for freedom. Anya, her face etched with both triumph and grief, addressed the team, her voice tinged with emotion. "We have achieved a great victory," she said, "but it has come at a terrible price. We must honor those who have sacrificed their lives for the cause of freedom." The team observed a moment of silence, their heads bowed in respect for the fallen. Then, they turned their attention to the task of rebuilding. The Kril's downfall had left a power vacuum in the galaxy, and it was up to the remaining species to forge a new path forward. The Galactic Concord, now free from the Kril's influence, embarked on a process of healing and reconciliation. They established a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate the Kril's crimes and to hold those responsible accountable. They implemented reforms to ensure greater transparency and accountability within the Concord's governing structures. Humanity, once viewed with suspicion and disdain, emerged as a respected and influential member of the galactic community. Their ingenuity, their courage, and their unwavering commitment to truth had earned them a place at the table of galactic powers. In the wake of the Kril's downfall, a wave of change swept across the Galactic Concord. The newly liberated species, emboldened by their newfound freedom, clamored for representation and a voice in shaping their own destinies. The Concord Council, recognizing the need for reform, embarked on a series of unprecedented measures. They established a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, tasked with investigating the Kril's crimes and holding those responsible accountable. Public hearings were held, where victims of the Kril's oppression shared their harrowing stories, their voices echoing through the chamber like a mournful symphony. Silas, the Kril defector, played a crucial role in these proceedings. He testified against his own people, exposing the inner workings of the Kril's propaganda machine and detailing the extent of their manipulations. His courage and willingness to speak the truth earned him the respect of many, even among those who had once been his enemies. Meanwhile, the Concord Council undertook a comprehensive review of its governing structures, seeking to dismantle the systems that had allowed the Kril to amass such power. They implemented stricter regulations on information control, ensuring transparency and accountability at all levels of government. They also expanded the council to include representatives from all member species, giving a voice to those who had been marginalized and silenced under the Kril's rule. The once exclusive halls of power were now filled with a vibrant tapestry of diverse voices, each contributing their unique perspectives and experiences. Humanity, once viewed with skepticism and condescension, now found itself in a position of influence and respect. Their role in exposing the Kril's deception and their unwavering commitment to truth had earned them the admiration of the galactic community. Anya Petrova, hailed as a hero, was appointed as a special advisor to the Concord Council, her expertise in xenolinguistics proving invaluable in bridging the communication gap between the diverse species. She worked tirelessly to foster understanding and cooperation, helping to forge a new era of unity and collaboration. The Kril, their once mighty empire reduced to a shadow of its former self, were forced to reckon with the consequences of their actions. Their leaders were tried for war crimes, their military was disbanded, and their remaining resources were used to compensate the victims of their oppression. The Kril people, freed from the tyranny of their leaders, embarked on a path of introspection and self-discovery. They sought to understand the root causes of their aggression and to forge a new identity based on peace, compassion, and respect for other species. The galaxy, once divided by fear and distrust, began to heal. The symphony of resistance had given way to a symphony of unity, a harmonious chorus of voices celebrating diversity, cooperation, and the shared dream of a brighter future. Humanity, through its courage, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to truth, had played a pivotal role in this transformation. They had shown the galaxy that even the smallest voice could spark a revolution, that hope could triumph over despair, and that the power of unity could overcome even the darkest of shadows. The years following the Kril's downfall were a time of unprecedented change and growth for the Galactic Concord. With the oppressive regime dismantled, the member species embraced a renewed sense of unity and purpose. The Council, now truly representative of the diverse cultures within the Concord, fostered an atmosphere of open communication and collaboration. Dr. Anya Petrova found herself at the heart of this transformation. Her role as a special advisor to the Council granted her a unique platform to advocate for understanding and cooperation. She tirelessly worked to bridge the linguistic and cultural divides that had long hampered galactic relations. One of her most significant contributions was the establishment of the Galactic Communication Initiative. This ambitious project aimed to create a universal translator capable of deciphering any language, no matter how complex or obscure. Anya assembled a team of the brightest minds from across the galaxy, including linguists, cryptographers, and even a few telepathic species who could tap into the emotional nuances of communication. After years of research and development, the Universal Translator, dubbed the Harmony Bridge, was unveiled. It was a marvel of engineering, a sleek device that could be worn as a pendant or integrated into existing communication systems. The Harmony Bridge revolutionized interstellar communication, fostering greater understanding and cooperation between species. Meanwhile, Dr. Chen and Dr. Singh continued their groundbreaking work on Earth. The Harmony facility, once a secret bunker, had been transformed into a renowned research center, attracting brilliant minds from across the galaxy. They focused their efforts on repurposing the echo chamber technology for peaceful purposes. They developed new communication protocols that allowed for secure and encrypted transmissions, ensuring that the Kril's manipulative tactics could never be repeated. They also explored the potential of the echo chamber as a tool for scientific discovery. They used it to map distant star systems, to study the behavior of black holes, and to unravel the mysteries of dark matter. The echo chamber, once a weapon of fear, had become a beacon of knowledge and enlightenment. The Galactic Concord flourished under this new era of cooperation. Trade routes expanded, scientific breakthroughs abounded, and cultural exchange programs thrived. The galaxy, once fragmented and wary, was gradually knitting itself back together, its wounds healing under the balm of understanding and goodwill. Humanity, once a newcomer and an outsider, had become an integral part of this vibrant tapestry. Their contributions, both technological and diplomatic, had earned them the respect and admiration of the galactic community. They were no longer viewed as a threat, but as a valuable ally and a beacon of hope. Anya, reflecting on the extraordinary events of the past years, couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Humanity had not only survived its first encounter with the wider galaxy, but it had thrived, leaving an indelible mark on the course of galactic history. But she also knew that their journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast and ever-changing, filled with both wonders and perils. New challenges would inevitably arise, testing the strength of the Galactic Concord and the resilience of its member species. Yet, Anya remained optimistic. Humanity had proven its worth, its potential for both good and evil. They had learned from their mistakes, embraced their strengths, and found their place in the cosmic symphony. The echo of their actions would continue to resonate throughout the stars, a testament to the enduring spirit of a species that dared to dream of a better future. A decade after the Kril's downfall, the Galactic Concord had transformed into a beacon of unity and progress. The Harmony Bridge, now ubiquitous, had become a symbol of this newfound understanding, its gentle hum a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all species. Anya, no longer a newcomer but a respected figure in galactic society, had been appointed as the Concord's first human ambassador. She traveled tirelessly, visiting distant planets and meeting with diverse species, her mission to foster cooperation and understanding. On a diplomatic mission to the planet Xylara, home to a race of insectoid artisans renowned for their intricate metalwork, Anya found herself drawn to the planet's vibrant cultural scene. The Xylari, despite their intimidating appearance, were a peaceful and creative people, their cities adorned with breathtaking sculptures and intricate mosaics. During a visit to a Xylari art gallery, Anya's attention was drawn to a sculpture that depicted a human figure, its features stylized but unmistakable. The artist, a young Xylari named Zara, approached her with a shy smile. "I was inspired by your species' courage," Zara explained, her mandibles clicking softly. "You showed us that even the smallest voice can make a difference." Anya was touched by Zara's words. She had witnessed firsthand the transformative power of the Harmony broadcast, but to see its impact reflected in the art of another species was a deeply moving experience. "Thank you," Anya replied, her voice filled with emotion. "It is an honor to be recognized in such a beautiful way." Zara and Anya struck up an unlikely friendship, their conversations bridging the gap between their vastly different cultures. Anya learned about the Xylari's rich history, their reverence for nature, and their intricate social structures. In turn, she shared stories of humanity's struggles and triumphs, their hopes and dreams for the future. Their friendship became a symbol of the new era of interspecies cooperation that had emerged in the wake of the Kril's downfall. It was a testament to the power of empathy, understanding, and the willingness to see beyond superficial differences. Anya's work as an ambassador extended beyond diplomatic duties. She became involved in numerous humanitarian initiatives, working to improve the lives of marginalized species and to promote equality and justice throughout the galaxy. She spearheaded a project to provide clean water to a drought-stricken planet, collaborated with Thalaxian engineers to develop sustainable energy solutions for a mining colony, and even mediated a peace treaty between two warring factions on a remote nebula. Her tireless efforts earned her the respect and admiration of countless individuals across the galaxy. She became known as the Bridge Builder, a symbol of hope and unity in a galaxy that had once been divided by fear and distrust. Anya's journey was a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a testament to their ability to adapt, to learn, and to forge meaningful connections with others, regardless of their differences. It was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit could soar, reaching across the stars to touch the hearts and minds of a vast and diverse galactic community. Back on Earth, the Harmony facility had become a hub of scientific and technological innovation. Dr. Chen and Dr. Singh, now hailed as visionaries, continued to push the boundaries of knowledge, their work attracting the brightest minds from across the galaxy. One of their most ambitious projects was the development of a new type of spacecraft, one that could harness the power of the echo chamber's energy matrix to achieve unprecedented speeds and maneuverability. They dubbed it the Harmony Explorer, a symbol of their commitment to peaceful exploration and discovery. The Harmony Explorer was a sleek, elegant vessel, its hull shimmering with a metallic sheen that seemed to absorb and refract the surrounding starlight. Its interior was a marvel of engineering, filled with state-of-the-art laboratories, observation decks, and living quarters for its crew. Dr. Singh, his eyes sparkling with excitement, oversaw the final preparations for the explorer's maiden voyage. He had handpicked a diverse crew, a mix of humans and aliens, each with their own unique skills and expertise. Among them was a young Glamerian astrophysicist named Lyra, whose knowledge of hyperspace navigation was unparalleled. There was also a veteran Thalaxian engineer named Borak, whose expertise in propulsion systems was legendary. And, of course, there was Anya Petrova, the seasoned diplomat and linguist, who would serve as the mission's cultural liaison. The launch of the Harmony Explorer was a momentous occasion, broadcast live across the galaxy. As the ship soared into the cosmos, its engines humming with a symphony of power and grace, a collective gasp of awe and wonder arose from the countless worlds watching. The explorer's mission was simple yet profound: to explore the uncharted regions of the galaxy, to seek out new life and new civilizations, and to establish peaceful contact with them. It was a mission of hope, a testament to the Galactic Concord's commitment to a brighter future. The explorer's first destination was a nebula known as the Veil, a vast cloud of gas and dust that had long baffled astronomers. The Kril had once attempted to explore it, but their aggressive tactics had only resulted in conflict and bloodshed. The Harmony Explorer, however, approached the Veil with a different philosophy. They extended an open invitation to any sentient beings within the nebula, offering friendship and cooperation. To their surprise, they received a response. A small, unassuming vessel emerged from the Veil, its occupants a race of sentient energy beings known as the Lumina. The Lumina had been observing the galaxy from afar, wary of the Kril's aggression and the Concord's political machinations. But the Harmony Explorer's message of peace and goodwill resonated with them. They cautiously initiated contact, their ethereal forms flickering with a spectrum of colors that seemed to dance in the vacuum of space. Anya, using her linguistic skills and the Harmony Bridge, facilitated communication between the Lumina and the crew of the Explorer. The Lumina, it turned out, possessed a wealth of knowledge about the universe, their understanding of physics and cosmology far surpassing anything known to the Concorde. The encounter between the Harmony Explorer and the Lumina marked a turning point in galactic history. It was the beginning of a new era of exploration and discovery, one based on mutual respect, cooperation, and the shared pursuit of knowledge. The encounter with the Lumina proved to be a turning point for both humanity and the Galactic Concord. The Lumina, intrigued by humanity's ingenuity and their commitment to peaceful exploration, shared their vast knowledge of the universe, accelerating the Concord's technological and scientific progress by leaps and bounds. The Harmony Bridge, initially designed for linguistic translation, was upgraded to incorporate the Lumina's advanced understanding of energy manipulation. This allowed for direct communication with energy-based lifeforms, opening up a whole new realm of possibilities for interstellar diplomacy and understanding. Dr. Petrova, who had formed a close bond with Lyra, the Glimerian astrophysicist, found herself at the forefront of these groundbreaking discoveries. Together, they embarked on a series of joint research projects, exploring the mysteries of hyperspace, dark matter, and the origins of the universe itself. Their collaboration led to the development of new propulsion systems, advanced sensors, and even a prototype for a faster-than-light communication device. The Galactic Concord, once a collection of disparate species, was rapidly evolving into a truly interconnected and interdependent community. But the encounter with the Lumina also raised profound questions about humanity's place in the cosmos. The Lumina's ancient wisdom and their vast knowledge of the universe humbled the humans, reminding them of how much they still had to learn. A philosophical debate emerged within the Concorde, centered on the nature of consciousness, the meaning of existence, and the role of sentient beings in the grand scheme of things. The humans, with their unique blend of curiosity, creativity, and resilience, found themselves at the center of this debate, their perspective valued and respected. The Kril, meanwhile, were relegated to the sidelines. Their once mighty empire was a shadow of its former self, their influence waning with each passing day. Some Kril embraced the new era of cooperation, seeking forgiveness and redemption. Others, however, clung to their old ways, their hearts filled with bitterness and resentment. Anya, ever the diplomat, reached out to these disillusioned Kril, offering them a path towards reconciliation. She organized cultural exchange programs, facilitated dialogues, and worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between the Kril and the rest of the galaxy. Her efforts were met with mixed results. Some Kril responded positively, eager to shed their past and embrace a new future. Others remained resistant, clinging to their anger and resentment. But Anya, undeterred, continued her work, believing that even the most hardened hearts could be softened by understanding and compassion. The galaxy was changing, evolving, and humanity was at the forefront of this transformation. They had proven their worth not through aggression or conquest, but through their willingness to learn, to adapt, and to forge connections with others. They had become a beacon of hope, a symbol of the potential for unity and progress in a vast and complex universe. The Kril's once mighty fleet, now scattered and demoralized, retreated to their homeworld, a desolate, rocky planet shrouded in perpetual twilight. The Concord blockade tightened its grip, cutting off essential supplies and isolating the Kril from the rest of the galaxy. Within the Kril capital city of Krilata, the atmosphere was one of despair and recrimination. The streets were filled with protesters, their cries for justice echoing through the cavernous canyons of the city. The once proud Kril warriors, their armor tarnished and their spirits broken, patrolled the streets with a sullen resignation. Inside the High Council chambers, the remaining members engaged in bitter infighting, their unity shattered by the revelations of their deception and the catastrophic consequences of their actions. Some advocated for surrender, hoping for leniency from the Concord. Others, more fanatical in their beliefs, called for a final, desperate stand, a suicidal attack that would take the rest of the galaxy down with them. Kohler, stripped of his command and facing accusations of war crimes, had retreated to his private chambers, his mind consumed by rage and regret. He had devoted his life to the Kril Empire, believing in its destiny to rule the galaxy. Now it lay in ruins, a testament to his hubris and misguided ambition. Anya, despite the risks, felt a sense of compassion for the Kril people. She had witnessed their suffering, their disillusionment with their leaders, and their yearning for a different path. She believed that redemption was possible, even for a species that had caused so much pain and destruction. She decided to take a bold step. With the approval of the Concord Council, she embarked on a secret mission to the Kril homeworld. She traveled alone, unarmed, carrying only the Harmony Bridge and a message of hope. Upon arrival, she was greeted with suspicion and hostility. The Kril guards, their eyes narrowed with distrust, escorted her to a secure facility where she was to be interrogated. But Anya, undeterred, requested an audience with the Kril elders, the spiritual leaders of their society. The elders, a group of ancient Kril with weathered scales and wise eyes, listened intently as Anya spoke. She shared her vision of a galaxy united in peace and cooperation, a galaxy where all species were valued and respected. She spoke of the Kril's potential for greatness, their capacity for compassion and wisdom, if only they could let go of their past and embrace a new path. Her words struck a chord with the elders. They had long questioned the direction their society had taken, their spiritual teachings corrupted by the pursuit of power. Anya's message offered them a glimmer of hope, a way to redeem their people and reclaim their honor. The elders agreed to meet with the Concord Council to negotiate a peaceful resolution to the conflict. It was a risky gamble, but Anya believed it was their best chance to avoid further bloodshed and to pave the way for a brighter future for both the Kril and the rest of the galaxy. As Anya left the Kril homeworld, she couldn't help but feel a sense of cautious optimism. The path to reconciliation would be long and arduous, but the first steps had been taken. The symphony of resistance had sown the seeds of hope, and now it was up to the Kril to decide whether they would nurture those seeds and allow them to blossom into a new era of peace and understanding. The Kril delegation, led by Zaris and a contingent of elders, arrived at the Concord capital under heavy guard. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with the weight of history and the uncertainty of the future. The negotiations took place in a neutral chamber, its walls adorned with symbols of peace and unity from across the galaxy. The human delegation, led by Anya Petrova and Ambassador Singh, sat opposite the Kril, their faces etched with a mixture of hope and apprehension. The talks were arduous and emotionally charged. The Kril elders, their voices raspy with age and sorrow, expressed their deep regret for the actions of their former leaders. They acknowledged the pain and suffering they had caused, and they pledged to do everything in their power to make amends. Anya listened intently, her heart heavy with the weight of their confessions. She had seen firsthand the devastating consequences of the Kril's aggression, but she also recognized the sincerity of their remorse. "The path to redemption is not an easy one," she said, her voice firm but compassionate. "It requires humility, honesty, and a willingness to face the consequences of one's actions." Zaz, his posture stooped, but his eyes filled with a newfound determination, nodded in agreement. "We understand," he said. "We are prepared to do whatever it takes to rebuild trust and repair the damage we have caused." The negotiations continued for days, with both sides painstakingly working through the details of the peace treaty. The Kril agreed to disarm, to dismantle their military infrastructure, and to pay reparations to the species they had wronged. They also pledged to cooperate fully with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and to participate in cultural exchange programs aimed at fostering understanding and empathy. In return, the Concord agreed to lift the blockade, to provide humanitarian aid to the Kril people, and to support their efforts to rebuild their society. They also offered the Kril a path back into the galactic community, a chance to regain their dignity and to contribute to the collective good. The signing of the peace treaty was a historic moment, broadcast live across the galaxy. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the possibility of redemption. But it was also just the beginning. The road to reconciliation would be long and difficult. The Kril would have to confront the demons of their past, to come to terms with their history of violence and oppression. They would have to learn to live in peace with their neighbors, to build bridges instead of walls. And humanity, having played a pivotal role in the Kril's downfall, would have to shoulder the responsibility of helping them rebuild. They would have to extend a hand of friendship, to share their knowledge and resources, and to guide the Kril towards a brighter future. The symphony of resistance had achieved its goal, but its echoes would continue to reverberate throughout the galaxy. The story of humanity's triumph over the Kril would be told and retold for generations to come, a reminder of the power of truth, the importance of unity, and the enduring spirit of hope that could overcome even the darkest of shadows. As the Kril embarked on their arduous path toward redemption, the Galactic Concord flourished in the absence of their oppressive regime. Freed from the constraints of fear and manipulation, the diverse species of the Concord embraced a new era of cooperation and innovation. Trade routes expanded, scientific discoveries accelerated, and cultural exchange programs flourished, creating a vibrant tapestry of interstellar collaboration. The Harmony Bridge, once a symbol of defiance against the Kril, became a cornerstone of this new era. Its ubiquitous presence fostered cross-cultural understanding, facilitating communication and cooperation on an unprecedented scale. It was not uncommon to see humans conversing with Sil in the bustling marketplaces of Xylata, or to witness the Laxian warriors sharing stories of valor with Glimerian scholars in the halls of the Concord Academy. Anya, now a seasoned diplomat and a respected figure across the galaxy, continued to champion the cause of unity and understanding. She traveled tirelessly, visiting distant planets and meeting with leaders from all walks of life, her message of hope and reconciliation resonating with those who had suffered under the Kril's tyranny. She established diplomatic missions on numerous worlds, facilitating trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and scientific collaborations. She also worked to address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and resource scarcity, advocating for policies that would promote sustainable development and equitable distribution of resources. Under her guidance, the Galactic Concord established a series of humanitarian initiatives aimed at helping the most vulnerable populations. They sent medical teams to planets ravaged by disease, provided food and shelter to refugees displaced by conflict, and funded educational programs to empower future generations. Humanity, once a newcomer to the galactic stage, had emerged as a leader in these efforts. Their compassion, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to justice had earned them the respect and admiration of countless species. But Anya knew that the work was far from over. The scars of the Kril's oppression ran deep, and the wounds of the past would take generations to heal. The Kril themselves, though on a path to redemption, still faced internal divisions and challenges. Extremist factions, clinging to the remnants of their former glory, continued to sow discord and unrest. Some even resorted to violence, launching sporadic attacks against Concord outposts and sabotaging infrastructure projects. Anya, undeterred, redoubled her efforts to promote understanding and reconciliation. She organized conferences where Kril and their former victims could meet face to face, sharing their stories and finding common ground. She facilitated the creation of art and music programs that showcased the diversity and beauty of Kril culture, challenging stereotypes and promoting empathy. She also worked closely with Silas and the Kril elders, supporting their efforts to rebuild their society on a foundation of peace and cooperation. They established schools that taught a new generation of Kril the values of tolerance and respect for other species. They reformed their judicial system, ensuring fair trials and due process for all. The path to redemption was a long and arduous one, but Anya remained hopeful. She had witnessed the transformative power of empathy and forgiveness, and she believed that the Kril, with time and guidance, could overcome their past and become a valued member of the galactic community. The Kril homeworld, once a cold and forbidding place, began to show signs of transformation. The once barren landscapes were gradually being adorned with gardens and parks, a testament to the Kril's newfound appreciation for natural beauty. The towering spires of Krilara, once symbols of military might, were being repurposed into cultural centers, libraries, and schools. Anya, during one of her visits to Krilara, found herself strolling through a newly established botanical garden. The air was filled with the sweet scent of exotic flowers, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the drab gray of the surrounding cityscape. As she wandered through the winding paths, she came across a group of Kril children, their scales shimmering in the sunlight as they chased butterflies among the blooms. Anya smiled, her heart warmed by the sight. It was a sign of hope, a reminder that even amidst the ashes of conflict, new life could emerge. She approached the children, her translator effortlessly conveying her words in their clicking language. "Hello there," she said. "I'm Anya, from Earth. What are your names?" The children, initially shy, soon warmed to her gentle demeanor. They introduced themselves as Zara, Kale, and Soren, their names a mix of traditional Kril and newly adopted human names. "We're learning about Earth plants," Zara explained, her antennae twitching with excitement. "They're so different from our own." Anya spent the afternoon with the children, answering their questions about Earth, sharing stories of her travels, and learning about their hopes and dreams for the future. She was struck by their curiosity, their openness, and their eagerness to connect with someone from a different culture. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden, Anya bid farewell to the children, her heart filled with a newfound optimism. She realized that the true transformation of the Kril would not come from grand gestures or political pronouncements, but from the small, everyday interactions between individuals. It would come from children learning about different cultures, from adults sharing their stories and experiences, from the gradual erosion of stereotypes and the building of bridges of understanding. Anya's work was far from over, but she knew that she was on the right path. The seeds of hope that she had planted were beginning to sprout, their fragile tendrils reaching towards the light. It would take time, patience, and unwavering dedication, but Anya was confident that the Kril, with the support of the Galactic Concord, could overcome their past and forge a new, brighter future. The symphony of resistance had given way to a symphony of healing, a melody of hope and redemption that echoed throughout the Kril homeworld and beyond. The galaxy watched with bated breath, their hearts filled with a cautious optimism, as the Kril took their first tentative steps towards a new era of peace and understanding. The Kril homeworld, once a bastion of isolationism and xenophobia, was undergoing a profound transformation. The streets of Krilara, once patrolled by stern-faced soldiers, were now filled with a vibrant mix of Kril and alien visitors. The once barren plazas were now adorned with colorful banners and sculptures, showcasing the artistic talents of various species. Cultural exchange programs flourished, with Kril musicians performing alongside human dancers, Xylari artisans collaborating with Glimerian scientists, and Thalaxian warriors engaging in friendly sparring matches with Kril youth. These interactions, once unimaginable, were now commonplace, fostering understanding and breaking down stereotypes. Anya Petrova, who had been instrumental in establishing these programs, watched with pride as the Kril embraced the diversity of the Galactic Concord. She saw Kril children playing with human toys, Kril adults learning new languages and customs, and Kril elders sharing their ancient wisdom with visitors from across the galaxy. But the transformation was not without its challenges. The scars of the past ran deep, and many Kril still struggled to come to terms with the atrocities committed in their name. Some, unable to face their guilt and shame, retreated into isolation, their hearts hardened against the prospect of reconciliation. Silas, now a respected leader on the Council of Elders, worked tirelessly to address these challenges. He established community healing centers, where Kril could share their experiences and receive counseling. He organized public forums where open dialogue about the past was encouraged, and he promoted education programs that taught a new generation of Kril the values of empathy, compassion, and respect for all sentient beings. His efforts were not always successful. There were those who resisted change, who clung to the old ways and refused to acknowledge the harm they had caused. But Silas, with Anya's unwavering support, persevered, believing that the Kril were capable of redemption. One day, as Anya was walking through the streets of Krilara, she witnessed a remarkable sight. A group of Kril children were playing a game of tag with a group of human children, their laughter echoing through the once silent streets. It was a simple act, but it held profound significance. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of connection and the possibility of healing. Anya smiled, her heart swelling with emotion. She knew that the road to redemption was long and arduous, but she also knew that the Kril were on the right path. They were learning to embrace their past, to confront their mistakes, and to forge a new identity based on peace, compassion, and understanding. The symphony of resistance had given way to a symphony of healing, a melody of hope and reconciliation that echoed throughout the Kril homeworld and beyond. It was a testament to the enduring spirit of the human race, their unwavering belief in the potential for good, and their capacity to inspire change even in the darkest of corners of the galaxy. As the years passed, the Kril's transformation continued, a testament to the resilience of hope and the power of collective will. Krilara, once a sterile monument to military might, was now a city teeming with life and color. Murals depicting scenes of interstellar unity adorned the once bare walls, and public squares buzzed with the vibrant energy of cultural festivals celebrating the diverse traditions of the Galactic Concord. A generation of young Kril grew up learning a new narrative, one that emphasized cooperation, empathy, and respect for all sentient beings. Schools were rebuilt, not as factories for obedience, but as centers of learning and critical thinking. Kril students, their scales shimmering with youthful curiosity, eagerly devoured knowledge about the galaxy, their minds open to the wonders and possibilities beyond their homeworld. The economic landscape of the Kril homeworld also underwent a radical shift. The vast military-industrial complex that had once fueled their war machine was dismantled, replaced by sustainable industries focused on renewable energy, resource management, and artistic creation. The Kril, once feared for their weapons, now became renowned for their exquisite craftsmanship, their intricate metalwork, and their stunning bioluminescent sculptures. The Kril's reintegration into the Galactic Concord was a gradual but steady process. Their delegates, once known for their arrogance and belligerence, now approached diplomatic negotiations with humility and a genuine desire for understanding. The Harmony Bridge, always present on their lapels, facilitated open and honest communication, ensuring that their words were heard and understood by all. Silas, now an elder statesman, continued to play a pivotal role in his people's transformation. He traveled across the galaxy, speaking at conferences and universities, sharing the Kril's story of redemption, and offering a message of hope to other species struggling with conflict and division. His story became a legend, a testament to the power of individual courage and the transformative potential of forgiveness. He was hailed as a hero, not for his military prowess or political cunning, but for his unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of his people and his tireless efforts to guide them towards a brighter future. Anya Petrova, who had become a close friend and confidante to Silas, watched his transformation with admiration and pride. She had played a small but crucial role in the Kril's journey towards redemption, and she was grateful for the opportunity to witness their progress firsthand. Her own career had flourished in the years since the Kril conflict. She had risen through the ranks of the Concord's diplomatic corps, her reputation as a skilled negotiator and bridge builder preceding her. She had been instrumental in resolving numerous interstellar disputes, her calm demeanor and empathetic approach earning her the trust and respect of even the most intractable adversaries. The story of Anya and Silas, the human and the Kril, became a symbol of hope and reconciliation, a reminder that even the deepest wounds could heal, that even the most bitter enemies could find common ground, and that the symphony of resistance could ultimately give way to a symphony of peace and unity. The discovery of the artifact and its connection to the Harmony Bridge sent shockwaves through the scientific community of the Galactic Concord. It was a revelation that challenged the very foundations of their understanding of the universe. Dr. Chen and Dr. Singh, their minds ablaze with excitement, assembled a team of experts from various disciplines to study the artifact. They analyzed its energy signature, deciphered its cryptic inscriptions, and simulated its interaction with the Harmony Bridge. Their research led them to a startling conclusion. The artifact was not just a gateway to another dimension, but a potential source of unlimited energy, a power source that could revolutionize interstellar travel and transform the galaxy. The news of this discovery spread like wildfire, igniting a frenzy of excitement and speculation. Some saw it as a blessing, a chance to solve the galaxy's energy crisis and usher in an era of unprecedented prosperity. Others, however, feared its potential for misuse, a weapon that could be wielded by the unscrupulous for their own gain. The Concord Council convened an emergency session to discuss the implications of the artifact. Anya, her expertise in both diplomacy and xenotechnology, found herself at the center of the debate. Some council members argued for caution, urging a thorough study of the artifact before any action was taken. Others advocated for immediate exploitation, eager to harness its power for the benefit of the Concord. Anya, ever the pragmatist, proposed a balanced approach. She suggested forming a joint task force comprised of scientists, engineers, and diplomats to study the artifact and develop a plan for its safe and responsible utilization. The council agreed, and the task force, dubbed Project Nexus, was formed. Anya was appointed as its leader, her experience in navigating complex interstellar issues and her unwavering commitment to ethical decision-making making her the ideal candidate. The team, assembled from the brightest minds across the galaxy, embarked on a rigorous research program. They conducted experiments, analyzed data, and consulted with experts from various fields, their goal to unlock the artifact's secrets while ensuring the safety and well-being of the galaxy. The project faced numerous challenges. The artifact's technology was far beyond anything the Concord had ever encountered, its energy signature fluctuating and unpredictable. There were also concerns about potential cultural and environmental impacts, as the artifact's activation could disrupt the delicate balance of the surrounding space-time continuum. But the team persevered, driven by a shared sense of curiosity and a belief that the artifact held the key to a brighter future. They worked tirelessly, collaborating across species and disciplines, their efforts a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. Months turned into years, and the Nexus project yielded both promising breakthroughs and daunting challenges. The artifact, dubbed the Nexus Sphere, proved to be a complex and enigmatic entity, its energy signature fluctuating in ways that defied conventional scientific understanding. The Lumina, intrigued by the humans' discovery, offered their assistance. Their ancient knowledge of energy manipulation and dimensional travel proved invaluable, shedding light on the sphere's true nature. They revealed that the sphere was not merely a power source, but a bridge between dimensions, a conduit for a vast and ancient network of energy known as the cosmic harmony. This revelation sparked a new wave of research, as scientists and engineers worked to understand the implications of this discovery. They hypothesized that the cosmic harmony was the fundamental energy that permeated the universe, the source of all creation and the underlying force that connected all living beings. The Harmony Bridge, it turned out, was not just a translator, but a receiver for this cosmic energy. It had amplified the Lumina's knowledge and facilitated their communication with the Concord. Now, with the Nexus sphere, the potential to harness this energy for the betterment of the galaxy seemed within reach. But the risks were also immense. The cosmic harmony was a powerful force, and tampering with it could have unforeseen consequences. The team had to proceed with caution, carefully studying the sphere's properties and developing safeguards to prevent any catastrophic accidents. Anya, as the leader of Project Nexus, felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She knew that the stakes were high, but she also knew that the potential rewards were immeasurable. A successful harnessing of the cosmic harmony could solve the galaxy's energy crisis, propel interstellar travel to new heights, and even unlock the secrets of immortality. But the ethical implications of such power were not lost on her. She convened regular meetings with philosophers, ethicists, and spiritual leaders from across the galaxy, seeking their guidance and wisdom. She wanted to ensure that the Nexus sphere would be used for the betterment of all, not just a select few. The Kril, who had been observing Project Nexus from afar, saw it as an opportunity for redemption. They offered their assistance, their advanced technology and knowledge of energy manipulation proving invaluable. Their participation in the project, once unthinkable, was a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and reconciliation. The Kril scientists, working alongside their human counterparts, made significant contributions to the project. They developed new algorithms for predicting the sphere's energy fluctuations, designed safety protocols to prevent overload, and even created a prototype for a new type of engine that could harness the cosmic harmony for propulsion. As the project progressed, Anya couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. She was witnessing the birth of a new era, a time of unprecedented cooperation and discovery. The galaxy was coming together, united by a shared purpose, and humanity, the once underestimated newcomers, were playing a pivotal role in shaping its destiny. The Harmony Explorer, now equipped with a prototype engine powered by the cosmic harmony, embarked on a series of exploratory missions into the uncharted regions of the galaxy. Anya, Lyra, Borak, and the rest of the crew ventured into nebulae, traversed black holes, and visited worlds teeming with exotic lifeforms. The explorer's mission was not only to explore and discover, but also to share the knowledge and technology gained from the Nexus sphere with other species. They established research outposts on various planets, collaborating with local scientists and engineers to develop sustainable energy solutions, advanced medical technologies, and new methods of interstellar communication. The explorer's presence in the galaxy became a symbol of hope and progress, a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. The crew encountered countless species, some friendly, some wary, but all intrigued by the humans and their extraordinary technology. Anya, with her linguistic skills and cultural sensitivity, played a crucial role in establishing peaceful relations with these new civilizations. She learned their languages, customs, and traditions, sharing with them the story of humanity's journey from a fledgling species to a galactic leader. One such encounter took place on a lush, tropical planet orbiting a binary star system. The planet's inhabitants, a race of avian humanoids known as the Avians, were initially hesitant to interact with the humans. They had heard of the Kril conflict and were wary of any species that wielded such advanced technology. But Anya, through her patience and understanding, managed to gain their trust. She shared with them the story of the Harmony Project, how humans had turned a weapon of destruction into a tool for peace and progress. She showed them the Harmony Bridge, demonstrating how it could facilitate communication and understanding between their two cultures. The Avians were fascinated by the humans and their technology. They invited the crew of the Harmony Explorer to their capital city, a majestic metropolis built among the branches of giant, bioluminescent trees. There, Anya and her colleagues engaged in a lively exchange of knowledge and ideas. The Avians, experts in bioengineering and genetic manipulation, shared their secrets of longevity and disease resistance. The humans, in turn, introduced them to the concept of the cosmic harmony and its potential for limitless energy. The encounter with the avians led to a fruitful partnership, with both species benefiting from the exchange of knowledge and technology. The avians, inspired by the Harmony Bridge, developed their own version of the device, adapted to their unique communication patterns. The humans, in turn, incorporated the avians' bioengineering techniques into their medical research, leading to breakthroughs in regenerative medicine and genetic therapies. The Harmony Explorer's journey continued, each new encounter adding to the growing tapestry of galactic civilization. The humans, once viewed as outsiders, had become ambassadors of hope and progress, their actions echoing throughout the stars and inspiring countless species to reach for the stars. As the Kril embarked on their arduous path toward redemption, the Galactic Concord flourished in the absence of their oppressive regime. Freed from the constraints of fear and manipulation, the diverse species of the Concord embraced a new era of cooperation and innovation. Trade routes expanded, scientific discoveries accelerated, and cultural exchange programs flourished, creating a vibrant tapestry of interstellar collaboration. The Harmony Bridge, once a symbol of defiance against the Kril, became a cornerstone of this new era. Its ubiquitous presence fostered cross-cultural understanding, facilitating communication and cooperation on an unprecedented scale. It was not uncommon to see humans conversing with Sil in the bustling marketplaces of Xylata, or to witness Thalaxian warriors sharing stories of valor with Glamerian scholars in the halls of the Concord Academy. Anya, now a seasoned diplomat and a respected figure across the galaxy, continued to champion the cause of unity and understanding. She traveled tirelessly, visiting distant planets and meeting with leaders from all walks of life, her message of hope and reconciliation resonating with those who had suffered under the Kril's tyranny. She established diplomatic missions on numerous worlds, facilitating trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and scientific collaborations. She also worked to address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and resource scarcity, advocating for policies that would promote sustainable development and equitable distribution of resources. Under her guidance, the Galactic Concord established a series of humanitarian initiatives aimed at helping the most vulnerable populations. They sent medical teams to planets ravaged by disease, provided food and shelter to refugees displaced by conflict, and funded educational programs to empower future generations. Humanity, once a newcomer to the galactic stage, had emerged as a leader in these efforts. Their compassion, ingenuity, and unwavering commitment to justice had earned them the respect and admiration of countless species. But Anya knew that the work was far from over. The scars of the Kril's oppression ran deep, and the wounds of the past would take generations to heal. The Kril themselves, though on a path to redemption, still faced internal divisions and challenges. Extremist factions, clinging to the remnants of their former glory, continued to sow discord and unrest. Some even resorted to violence, launching sporadic attacks against Concord outposts and sabotaging infrastructure projects. Anya, undeterred, redoubled her efforts to promote understanding and reconciliation. She organized conferences where Kril and their former victims could meet face to face, sharing their stories and finding common ground. She facilitated the creation of art and music programs that showcased the diversity and beauty of Kril culture, challenging stereotypes and promoting empathy. She also worked closely with Silas and the Kril elders, supporting their efforts to rebuild their society on a foundation of peace and cooperation. They established schools that taught a new generation of Kril the values of tolerance and respect for other species. They reformed their judicial system, ensuring fair trials and due process for all. The path to redemption was a long and arduous one, but Anya remained hopeful. She had witnessed the transformative power of empathy and forgiveness, and she believed that the Kril, with time and guidance, could overcome their past and become a valued member of the galactic community. Years turned into decades, and the Galactic Concord thrived, a testament to the resilience of hope and the enduring power of unity. The Kril, once a symbol of oppression, had undergone a remarkable transformation. Krilara, once a cold and sterile city, now bustled with vibrant life, its streets echoing with the laughter of children and the lively discussions of scholars and artists. The Kril people, once feared and reviled, were now respected members of the galactic community, their contributions to science, art, and diplomacy valued and celebrated. Anya Petrova, now a revered elder stateswoman, looked back on her life with a sense of profound satisfaction. She had witnessed humanity's journey from a fledgling species to a galactic leader, and she had played a small but significant role in shaping that destiny. The Harmony Bridge, the universal translator she had helped create, had become an indispensable tool for communication and understanding. It had fostered friendships, facilitated alliances, and paved the way for a new era of cooperation and peace. Anya's legacy extended far beyond the Kril conflict. She had dedicated her life to the pursuit of peace and justice, championing the rights of marginalized species and promoting understanding across cultural divides. Her tireless efforts had earned her the respect and admiration of countless individuals across the galaxy. But even as she basked in the glow of her accomplishments, Anya knew that the work was far from over. The galaxy was vast and ever-changing, filled with both wonders and perils. New challenges would inevitably arise, testing the strength of the Galactic Concord and the resilience of its member species. She had faith, however, that the lessons learned from the Kril conflict would not be forgotten. The importance of truth, the power of unity, and the transformative potential of forgiveness had been etched into the collective consciousness of the galaxy. As Anya gazed out at the stars from her balcony on Earth, she saw a future filled with hope and promise. Humanity, once a solitary wanderer in the cosmos, had found its place in a vibrant and diverse community of galactic civilizations. They had embraced their role as a force for good, a beacon of hope in a universe filled with both darkness and light. The symphony of resistance had given way to a symphony of peace, a harmonious chorus of voices celebrating the diversity and interconnectedness of all life. The Kril, once a discordant note, had found their place in this symphony, their voices adding a unique and valuable melody to the cosmic ensemble. The echoes of humanity's journey would continue to reverberate through the stars, a testament to the enduring power of hope, the resilience of the human spirit, and the boundless potential of a species that dared to reach for the stars.